Once upon a time, in the lush and untamed landscapes of India, there lived a Bengal tiger named Raja. The majestic creature's beauty was only matched by his profound empathy and loyalty, qualities as rare and vibrant as the jungles of Rajasthan he called home. In this land of ancient forests and sun-drenched skies, Raja's spirit roamed freely, his heart open to the wild's natural rhythms and the beings he shared it with. But Raja was no solitary soul. He had forged a remarkable bond with a young girl named Priya, who lived with her family in a small village bordering the vast jungle. Priya's father, Vikram, was a forest ranger. Years ago, when Raja was just a cub, he had been injured and left vulnerable by the forest's perils. Vikram had found him, his tiny body weak but his eyes still fierce. With careful nurturing, Vikram had helped Raja regain his strength, and from that time forward, a unique friendship blossomed between the tiger and Priya, Vikram's daughter. Priya would often venture into the jungle with her father, catching glimpses of Raja and marveling at his strength and beauty. Over time, the tiger and the young girl formed a deep and lasting connection, a bond that echoed the sacred and mysterious harmony of the forest. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. One monsoon season, a tragedy shook the village and its forest to their very core. Poachers, driven by insatiable greed and a cruel disregard for nature, descended upon the sacred forest. Their mission was singularly sinister: capture Raja, the magnificent tiger whose fur and bones were coveted on the black market. When Vikram discovered their intentions, he knew he had to act. Fearless in his resolve to protect both Raja and his beloved forest, Vikram confronted the poachers. But he was vastly outnumbered and soon found himself surrounded and overpowered by their ruthless force. Word of his capture quickly spread to the village, sending ripples of fear through its people, who revered both Vikram's courage and Raja's noble presence in their lives. Upon hearing the news, Priya was overcome by dread, but her fear was soon replaced by an unshakable determination. She knew Raja could sense her presence. She'd relied on that silent understanding many times. She raced into the forest, calling for him with all her heart. The sky darkened as the rain poured down, thunder echoing through the jungle. Finally, as Priya reached the clearing where her father was held captive, she spotted the figure of her beloved Raja. Without a sound, the tiger sprang from the shadows, his golden eyes gleaming, a fierce protector against the encroaching danger. The poachers froze, terror flashing across their faces as Raja's earth-shaking roar filled the air. With calculated, swift movements, he tore through the line of captors, disarming and scattering them with the sheer force of his presence. As the poachers stumbled away in retreat, Raja approached Vikram, nudging him gently, ensuring he was safe. A wave of relief and gratitude swept through the forest. The villagers celebrated the tiger's courageous rescue, their cheers mingling with Raja's victorious roars that echoed through the trees. Priya ran to embrace her father, tears streaming down her cheeks, as Raja stood beside them, his eyes warm and knowing. It was a moment of triumph, binding the bond between the tiger, Priya, and Vikram even tighter than before. Yet, in the peaceful days that followed, another shadow began to loom over their happiness. News of Raja's bravery had traveled far, reaching the ears of a wealthy Maharaja in a distant region. Captivated by the tale of the majestic tiger, the Maharaja decided he wanted Raja in his private menagerie and was willing to pay a handsome sum. But he knew that the villagers, despite their love for Raja, faced many hardships. With a cunning offer, he proposed to pay an extravagant price to buy Raja, presenting the villagers with a difficult choice: sell the tiger to provide for their village or risk losing everything by refusing. For days, the village wrestled with the decision. Priya and Vikram were devastated, unwilling to part with their beloved friend. Yet the harsh realities of poverty and the tempting possibility of a better life weighed heavily on the villagers. They finally agreed to the Maharaja's proposal, and with sorrowful hearts they watched as Raja was taken from the forest. Priya's tear-stained face was the last familiar sight Raja saw before he was led away, and he held that memory close as he journeyed to an unfamiliar world. In the Maharaja's palace, Raja found himself in a luxurious but confining enclosure. Though he was surrounded by ornate decorations and grand courtyards, he longed for the dense forests and the companionship of Priya and Vikram. Weeks turned into months, and a deep sadness settled over Raja's heart, slowly dimming his once bright spirit. In a nearby village lived a spirited young boy named Arjun, whose curiosity about the palace was as boundless as his love for nature. He'd heard tales of a magnificent tiger held captive within the palace walls, and his heart ached for the creature's lost freedom. One day, as he wandered close to the palace's menagerie, his gaze fell upon Raja, their eyes meeting through the iron bars. In that single moment, Arjun understood the tiger's longing for freedom. Driven by compassion, he resolved to help his new friend escape. Under the soft glow of the moon, Arjun made his way back to the palace and quietly opened Raja's cage. At first hesitant, Raja soon stepped through the bars, his instincts guiding him toward the open skies. With Arjun by his side, Raja embarked on an incredible journey back to his forest home. The boy and the tiger traveled through dense woods, crossed vast rivers, and confronted dangerous animals and unfriendly strangers. But with each challenge, their trust in each other grew, and their connection deepened. Together, they experienced the beauty and cruelty of the wild, a journey that tested their courage, but also enriched their bond. One day, as they made their way through a dense part of the forest, they encountered a group of hunters whose guns were pointed at unsuspecting animals. Raja's protective instincts flared, and with a fierce growl, he charged, scattering the hunters and saving the animals. Arjun watched in awe as Raja fearlessly protected the jungle, embodying the courage that had once saved Vikram. Continuing their journey, they encountered a mighty river blocking their path. Raja, determined to cross, plunged into the rushing waters with Arjun holding onto his back. Together they fought against the powerful currents, and just when their strength seemed to wane, they reached the opposite shore, exhausted but triumphant. Their journey was long, and as weeks passed, Arjun began to feel that they were nearing Raja's home. One evening, Raja's senses became alert as the familiar scents of the jungle filled the air. With renewed strength, he quickened his pace, the memories of his old life flooding back. When they finally arrived, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the village. Priya, her heart heavy with loss, could hardly believe her eyes when she saw Raja step out of the forest. Overcome with emotion, she ran to him, wrapping her arms around his neck as tears streamed down her face. Vikram joined them, his expression filled with awe and joy. And Arjun, the boy who had risked everything to help Raja, watched from a distance, his heart full, as he witnessed the reunion he had helped make possible. Raja's incredible journey quickly became the stuff of legend, inspiring everyone who heard it. The villagers found strength in the tiger's loyalty and resilience, and their bond with the forest grew deeper, strengthening their commitment to protect it from harm. Raja continued to roam the jungles of Rajasthan, his heart forever linked to the people he called family, a guardian and friend who reminded them all of the powerful bond between humans and the wild. In the years that followed, Raja's legend spread, instilling a newfound respect for the jungle and its creatures. Priya and Arjun often shared the story of their brave tiger friend, and with each telling, the bond between Raja and the villagers became a cherished part of their heritage. Raja's life was a testament to the strength of loyalty and the beauty of friendship, a reminder to all who met him that some connections can never be broken, no matter the miles or hardships in between. And so Raja roamed free in the jungles he loved, his spirit as vast and untamed as the forest that held him, forever bound to the people and the land he had once saved and who had in turn saved him.